Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another video. So you guys, I wanted to make another video. I actually never have touched on this whatsoever. And you guys can let me know what you think on this also. And even the video that I did previously, you can let me know what you think on that topic as well. But you guys, I noticed maybe how some of us victims and survivors, when we're dealing with the abuse, either if we're in it or after the fact, or it could be many years have gone by and we still may be dealing with this. But I wanted to talk about how to overcome self-denial and self-deception after dealing with narcissistic abuse. And I think that that's really good because I do feel some of us, we do experience a lot of self-denial after getting out of the abuse, or even if we're in it. So meaning we may deny that we're even experiencing the abuse, or we could deny ourselves of leaving the relationship because we're just oh, well, this is all I'm going to get. This is all that I know. I don't want to start over. I don't want to be alone. I'd rather just deal with this than to be by myself, And that's why I always talk about, how if you are single and alone, it's a really good time, you guys. I'm telling you, don't be afraid to focus on you, to work on yourself, because the more you focus on yourself and you work on yourself, the better you can become a better version of yourself. So that way, when the time is right, you will be a better, you'll be better for another person, you won't have the past baggage and the past trauma and the past drama. You won't be projecting that onto that other person, an innocent person that doesn't deserve it, So, and like I said, you don't have to be by yourself forever, but it's just now while you're going through that healing process. But it's not to say it's anything wrong with talking to people here and there, but at the end of the day, the focus is on you. And not, as I always say, it's not self-centered to love yourself and to put yourself first. That's you should always do that because nobody else is going to do that for you. Even the narcissist puts themselves first, based off of their behavior. But the thing about them is they're actually hurting people, but we're not trying to hurt anybody. We're just making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We're getting our needs met from within. And then whoever we meet, then they may do the same thing. And then we share our time, we share our attention, and we share, collaborate with others, or date or whatever. So anyway, you guys, but yeah, I do feel like a lot of us, we can definitely experience a lot of self-denial, maybe denying the fact that, it is an abusive relationship, or maybe denying the fact that there is something off about, the narc, or, and stuff like that. And so, if you are dealing with that, just kind of, be aware that you might be denying, the fact that this is a toxic relationship, and that the fact that it needs to end, and that, this is not the one for you. You get me? So it's just more so just about acceptance and, taking the action to, do what's best for you to end the situation, but not end it on a dramatic or, obnoxious way, but in a way where both parties, well, the narc isn't going to understand, but you understand that this is not right, So definitely make sure that, you do kind of just think a little bit about that. See, are you in denial right now? If you're dealing with a narc, are you denying the fact that this relationship needs to end, that you need to not have contact with the narc, and that, they don't want the things that you want. If the person says hey, I don't want a relationship, or hey, I don't want, whatever the case is, they don't, something they may not make you feel important, or they make you feel an option. They make you feel like you have to fight and compete. Are you denying that? Just something to think about. But, the other thing is too, the self-deception, which I guess this can kind of go hand in hand. So are we deceiving ourselves? Are we lying to ourselves? Or are we allowing our mind to play tricks on us? Again, in regards to the narcissist, or even within ourselves, are we saying oh, the narc is going to change, the the narc is going to want to be in a relationship with me one day. The narc is going to leave that new supply one day. The narc is going to treat me better and respect me, and make me a priority, make me feel reassured, and we're going to live happily ever after one day. And you know, maybe it could be like his family doesn't accept you or something like that. Maybe you could have like a narc person that you're dating, and maybe their mom is a narc, or they have like toxic family members that talk down on you or whatever. You could be like, oh, you know, maybe one day I'm going to get accepted by, you know, the narc's family members, or maybe one day I'm going to meet people that's important to the narcissist, like that's special to them. I'm going to meet them one day. Like the narc is going to make me you know, make time for me one day, or, you know, things are going to get better between us two. I'm not going to give up on this because, you know, we have so much history, and all that stuff in your mind, like, could be true to a certain degree. But for the most part, I feel like we know deep down inside, like, you know, it's a lie most of the time, or maybe we just, sometimes it's too painful to accept the truth, you know. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. Sometimes it's easier for us to just go along. I think that the video that I did where it's like it's easy to accept a pretty lie than to accept the harsh truth, you know. And I don't think that a lot of us, we do that on purpose. I think it might be a subconscious thing. I feel like, you know, sometimes it's just easier to just do what we know, or easier to just not upset the status quo, or it's easier to just go with the flow and to not speak up for our needs, you know. And I think that does come from, and I'm only speaking from experience because that was me. You know, it comes from being like a doormat, a people pleaser, you know, a yes person and stuff like that. And you know, not wanting to be liked, or, you know, not wanting for people to say stuff about us, or get criticized or judged or ridiculed, or have somebody mad at us. But you just got to remember at the end of the day, like when you are deceiving yourself, you know, you could be deceiving other people. And then that's more so like a self-betrayal. Like I want to make a video about that, like, you know, how a lot of us, we can be betraying ourselves. So just make sure that, you know, you can just get honest about the situation. Like if you're wondering like, okay, so what do I do about the self-denial and about self-deception after dealing with narcissistic abuse? You just want to make sure that you can get rooted in reality and understand that you're not getting your needs met, and that this relationship is not ideal and you're not happy. You know, like once you can get rooted in that and not deceive yourself, or maybe make excuses, because that's what I used to do. I used to make excuses for the narcissist. I would make excuses for the mistreatment, and I in a sense, I would kind of like protect the narc. Like I would, like, you know, if somebody was to say like, oh, you know, you need to not say like, oh, move on, but they would tell me things that I needed to hear, but maybe I wasn't ready, because I wasn't ready to like move on, you know. Then sometimes we could we might block it out, or again, we might defend the narc or defend the abuse. And that actually does happen a lot when it comes to having narc parents and sometimes in-laws. Like if you're an adult child of the narc parent, and somebody's saying like, oh, well, your mom said this to me, or your mom disrespected me in this way, or your dad gave me this look, or your dad says something that offended me, then a lot of times, since we have been so used to the abuse, it's in a sense it has been normalized, then we would stick up for our narc parent because that's all we know. And then, you know, it is our parents, so like people are going to stand up for their parent. But the thing is, you can't take it in, because again, you love them and you don't want to think anything negative about them, or believe that, you know, that parent doesn't have your back, or that parent is just controlling and manipulative, and they just want to be worshipped, you know. And that could be you in regards to dealing with the narcissist. Like you might be protecting the narc, you might be making up excuses for the narcissist, or defending their abuse, or defending your relationship. And not saying that your relationship isn't real. Like, yeah, it's real. Like you are there, the narc is there, you have emotions, the narc has like fake emotions, but it's real, you know. So I definitely get it. But, you know, once, like I said, you just have to accept that the situation is just not working out for you, and that you deserve better. and that it's okay to be alone. It is, trust me, it's totally fine. And you also have to recognize that you might have been self-deceiving yourself and being in denial about it. And that again is a part of the grieving process, you know, where we go through the denial, or we could be bargaining back and forth and saying like, oh, you know, let's do this, or oh, well, let's break up because we know it's not right, but then I miss you, but then you treat me bad, but then, you know, I still, we have so much history and time, but you don't make me a priority. You don't want a relationship with me. You get me? So it's like that back and forth thing. But anyway, you guys, I hope that this can help you to just kind of get rooted in reality and understand, like, the more you're in self-denial, the more you're in self-deception, the more you're going to feel depression. You're going to feel anxiety. You're going to have CPTSD more. You're going to be feeling lonely. You're going to be feeling depressed. You're going to, you know, just not be yourself, you know. But the sooner you can wake up and see the reality of it, then you can accept it, you can grieve it, you can make peace with it, and you can move on, and you can start your healing process. Because the longer you're in self-denial and self-deception, it's like it's holding up your recovery process, because in a sense you feel like, oh, well, it's nothing really wrong, like maybe this person is normal, or maybe this is just a relationship challenge. It's not a big deal, like this person isn't a narc or whatever, you know. So just kind of be mindful. And again, I'm only speaking from experience. This did happen to me. I was in self-denial, I was in self-deception. One of the things with me, as I said, I went no contact with the male narc back in 2014, but as I told you guys, I did kind of look on the narcissist page from time to time, and I did it for a while, for the whole like year of 2014, and then from time to time I would look on his page in 2015. That's when I saw that he had a baby, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm done, you know. And that could be you, like you can see something that really hurts your feelings, you know. And then I guess another thing that can maybe help you is to realize that, and maybe it hasn't came to this yet, but you have to see that the narcissist the narcissist is no longer a source of your happiness and joy anymore. It's more so the narcissist is a source of your pain, of your agony, of your disappointments, of your regrets, of your anger, you know. So once you can switch and understand that that's what's going on now, then you could kind of work through the self-denial and work through the self-deception. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful. I didn't want to make this video too long, but let me know, what was your guys' biggest takeaway? Do you struggle with self-denial and self-deception when it comes to dealing with narcissistic abuse, and just kind of like letting the situation go and realizing the situation for what it is, like? Or do you kind of go back and forth and you're like, oh, well, no, it's not this, or no, it's not that? Because again, I've done that plenty of times, but it's all good. It's just awareness here. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Make sure that you do give this video a like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you share this video with someone if you think it can help them and bless them. All right, and until the next time. Bye, guys.